Our first speaker today will be Cadet Engelman with the mask I wear.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to begin my oration by thanking a few people today. First off, I want to thank Cadets Jorth and Kelly, who helped me fix my broken blouse about 5 minutes before I came here. Ever since I was in elementary school, my teachers told me that I was special, that I had potential, and I was smart, but I never really did anything about it. Even though I had lots of friends, and most of them got better grades than me, actually I believe all of them got better grades than me, I wasn't influenced by them in a positive way. It wasn't their fault, it was just mine. By the time I got to middle school, I didn't really give up on grades, but I never did my homework, never paid attention in class, just kind of breezed through everything. However, I didn't have a single friend. For some reason, everybody just liked to pick on me, bully me, and I felt all alone. Eventually, I began to escape into this little world I created in my own imagination, and that began to actually take a negative toll on my mental health that I still feel every once in a while. However, I somehow got through middle school without a single friend, and eventually I got to high school, into a high school called Fort Hamilton. Now, before I was into Fort Hamilton, me and my mother, we thought Fort Hamilton was this amazing school where my cousin went, and we thought, wow, he's going to be positively influenced by all these people. I guess Fort Hamilton changed, because it has become a very horrible school. We were on national news twice in the same month, and they were not for good reasons. However, my grades continually slipped, because I was influenced by the wrong people. I remember my 9th grade year, my mom was ready to send me to military school, and I was like, she's not going to send her only son to military school. That's ridiculous. I'm her little boy. Yeah, I was so wrong. Halfway through my 10th grade year, I was sent here. I actually didn't fail a class until it was official I was coming to Carson Long, because, you're leaving the public school. Why on earth would you do your homework? Now I have a failing grade that I still regret in geometry. However, coming to Carson Long, my grades improved drastically. I remember the first time I saw my geometry grade from Mr. Warner. I literally thought he made a mistake. I checked it like 6 times. I made a Mr. Warner check his grades all over again, and he did them in front of me. And I was awestruck that my grades went from like 65 and 70, which was in Fort Hamilton, all the way to 90s. And I remember when I first went up to this school, I was thinking, I lived in 49 actually, and I was like, this place smells like a prison. But for some reason, I was happy to be away from my mother for like the first week, and eventually, even though I never admitted it, yes, I did miss you. However, I would like to thank one cadet in particular, who isn't here today, Boris Moon. He taught me skills and helped me every single day through my first year. And the skills that he taught me, I use in Carson Long and in the real world still today. And if I never had met him, I don't even know who I would be today. He's actually the reason I came to Belfry Hall, and I'm probably still in Belfry Hall today. I would like to thank a few faculty members in particular. Captain Baker, you're always like a father to me. And, well, I don't know if I would honestly be at Carson Long right now if you hadn't always been there. Lieutenant Conrad, who was, I believe, the first English teacher to actually teach me how to write properly, which I didn't even know that English class was about. I thought they would teach you like how to read or something. Kind of pointless, come to think of it. Even though it helps your brain, if you can't put it on paper, what's the point? Major Hallman, I have seen the work you do throughout the years, and it is literally, I still think you're a cyborg. It is, I don't understand how you can do this. You guys, like, I don't know if the teachers that came here this year or last year understand this, but all your smart boards, all your computers, you guys know that guy that like comes in to fix them. We didn't have that guy my first year. It was Major Holding who fixed every single thing that besides the lights that pretty much ran electricity through it, which I found completely insane. This would be a peer piece. I like to thank my other building officer, Lieutenant Martin. You're young, so it's kind of easier to relate to you, so that was always nice to have around. Colonel Somerville, I always thought he was kind of like, not really an enemy, more of a challenge to overcome. You know, I always thought it was kind of like a game of cat and mouse, and every single time I would somehow magically avoid an order, I'd be like, yes, that's 1 point for Engelman. And this is, I'm graduating, so that's like 10 points for me. I also like to think at the beginning of the year, I really wanted to move to 49, even though I was in Belfry for, the 2 years prior, and Colonel Somerville, even though my mom called because she wanted me to be with Lieutenant Conrad as my building officer, he still wouldn't give up, so I gotta thank you for that one.
That's 10 points for me?
What?
It's 10 points for me.
9, I still win. I would like to thank my own boyfriend Brian, who isn't here today. He was the one that could always see through the mask that I wore. He always was able to see through me somehow. My grandmother, who never gave up on me. Personally, I think she kind of wore the rose-colored glasses, but I kind of liked it because no matter how much my mom would scream and shout and tell her that she was scared for my future, my grandmother was always there to tell her that it's okay. I also like to thank my grandfather, who was always there to tell me the harsh truth, whether I wanted to know it or not. And I would also like to thank the rest of the faculty, Major Morgan, Colonel Grove, Lieutenant McCabley, Lieutenant Blake, Mr. Warner, Miss Morgan, and all the children that live here on Carson Long, because it's fun to talk to you guys every once in a while and not talk to someone that wears the same uniform as me. Lastly, I would like to thank my mother, who, well, I don't know why she's crying right now. She's not the one that's scared of giving a speech up here. You sent me to Carson Long, and one thing I never really told you, when we were getting that tour, being told about that beautiful pool on the CH roof, you should go swimming that later. He asked you, Captain Martell would always ask you, do you want to come to Carson Long? I said yes, half out of fear that, if I said no, I was still going to Carson Long, but that time between my mother would kill me and make my life hell. And the other half was, well, I kind of knew I was slipping. When all my grades had fallen, I never failed a class, but I came so close that I realized that I really was on a very slippery slope downhill. And I'd like to thank you for bringing me here and not giving me a third chance, because frankly, if I had a third chance, I would have failed. I just know myself that well. I'd like to also thank the Corps of Cadets, who were always, there for me. We are like a brotherhood. And I'll never forget you guys. And to the class of 2014, somehow, some way, we did make it. Thank you.